Alright, we're going to be watching a Grandmaster 5 game on console. It's going to be on Xbox by Br00dy, who's playing Torbjorn. Hello, I'm looking for some input on a recent competitive game on Esperanca. I feel like I did alright, but I had a few inopportune deaths at the end which could have won us the game. This is on console, for those who are wondering. I play Reaper Torb mostly, but didn't feel like I needed to swap in this game. I'm not sure if that was a mistake. So, I have some good news for you. I've already pre-watched this video, and I can tell you that it's not really related to you switching to Reaper. I don't think that you were countered or anything like that. I do think that there are some relatively easy things that you can do to significantly elevate your game. Because after watching this game, my impression is that at the level that you are at, a lot of people still don't know how to play the game. Which is great news for you, because climbing should be easy. Because when I watched this game, I was like, if this was on PC in North America, I would probably guess that this was low diamond at most. And I'm not talking from an aim perspective. There's going to be a bunch of really confusing things that are going to happen here from both you and the enemy team that I think are easily exploitable. So this is good. This is good news for you, right? Because the improvements are easy. It's not like, oh, we have to really kind of ring through this with a fine-tooth comb to try to figure out little things to improve on. No, there are a lot of easy things to improve on. So let's talk about how we just start this, okay? So Esperanca all rotates around the control of the left side over here, okay? Control of this side determines who's going to control the robot. It is totally fine if their team decides to all run over to the robot. Fine, let them have it. Take this side, and then take this side, and then shoot them down. Because once you control here and here, and then here and here, where are they going to go? They're just going to get pinned. The robot's not going to go anywhere. They're just going to get gunned down, right? And if they double down trying to push through this way, and they all kind of go this way, then you just rotate behind them and then you kill their backline because there's no cover, right? So that's your perspective is, as Torbjorn, I want to control the left side. As everyone, all tanks, all DPS, all supports, it should be control left side. Control left side first. The only exception would be if you want to be a really strong off-angler, that's fine to go this way. But everyone else should be contesting for left side. Now, to contest left side, and granted, I'm not like a Torbjorn player or anything like that, but if I just think through this logically, so I have a few options, all right? I can, number one, put kind of a passive turret, let's say over right here-ish, that will prevent them from being able to walk into us, and it will prevent them from coming this way. I do not want to put a turret over here, which might have better line of sight, because it'll get destroyed so quickly, right? This will see left side, it'll see right side, and it'll die really, really fast. So probably I would tuck it in over here. Right? Or maybe over here or something like that. Just kind of chuck it in there, kind of deep. Maybe right here-ish to kind of contest this left side. Alternatively, if you put it over here, this is going to die immediately as well because they're going to see it, they're going to kill it right away. There's another option, which is to go right. A lot of other, Soldier, for example, will often go up this way. Ash will go up this way. Sometimes Cassidy, or Hanzo especially will go up this way, or Hanzo will climb up the side, is to take Bridge, right? Fight over here, and then go and tuck a turret in over here, for example, which is also a good position. So that's what I'm thinking of is I want to prevent them from walking over me, and I want to spam them out until I win. That's the way Torb wins, right? You just spam them out, you're going to hit some headshots, and then you're eventually going to kill them, right? You do not want the fights to go too fast, right? You also don't want the fights to go too slow, but in general, you're going to be, you're a spammy, pokey hero, right? That's where you excel at, not the run in and bust down their face type situation. Torb is not great at that. He's just too large a hitbox. So as we can see, you've made two mistakes already. Number one, this turret should die pretty much right away, or it's going to be useless. One of the two. Number one. Number two is you walk to the right instead of immediately going up to the left, which is important because the first one to peek over the side here has an advantage because you'll see the other one step up the stairs into you. So getting up here and turning that corner first is going to be an advantage. You're a little slow here. You see how you kind of slow down? Again, you notice that having a turret here would be just fine to keep that tracer from doing anything. And then you kind of worry about the right side. But the shield's here. Nothing's going to happen right now. This fight's not going to end in the next 5 seconds, okay? I don't need to be standing here. Just rotate around and start shooting the backline. What are they going to do? Especially if you come over here, you bring your turret with you. This turret tracer's not going to do a thing. You know? And now notice that she's taking this left side, which I think it's boggling that at GM on console, nobody went to the left. On PC, everybody goes to the left. 80 to 100% of the players will go to the left. It's so funny to me that people go to the right because this is what people did when Esperanca first released in Season 1. before people understood how to play the map is that everyone went towards the robot, and now everybody goes this way because this is actually the correct way to go. Anyway, so you see you rotate over here, you get super low, you get good reactions there, but like this should never have happened to begin with. Okay, you should just be here, aggressing, right? Using the turret to control this space, shooting, and then once if the tracer's not here, move up, drop the turret down again, and then start fighting the backline. That's what you should be doing right now. But you get low here, you get nervous, despite the fact that Mercy's healing you, you don't need to back up right now. Just stay with your team, right? You stay right here, More heals you, why are you giving up the space? You give the space, it gets worse for you, right? Fighting here is going to be even worse than fighting here. You might as well have this space right now, and you have bridge control to fight. Over here, you're going to have to fall a lot further back into like this small choke, or downhill with no cover, versus fighting here. You want to fight here, right? You want to fight in this spot, no further. But you backed way far up. And you get very lucky here that you kill the tracer, because at this elo, for some reason, nobody on the opposing team is going to heal this tracer. She's been running around low for the entire fight. Right? Over here, she's at 136, 80 damage. Okay? 80 damage at 48 seconds. 11 seconds ago, she was at 80 health, and at 59 seconds, now she dies to your shot, and still has not gotten healed in that entire time, which I think is insane that this is happening at GM. But so be it. This is the world that you live in, which is fine. Your supports also suck, for the record. Like, you run around with really low health all the time because you're just not used to being healed. Like, you just kind of expect that you're not going to heal. I think it's part of the reason why your instinct is to fall so far back, because you think it's going to take forever for the supports to heal you, which I think is hilarious and sad at the same time. But anyway, is what it is. So, you kill the Tracer. Obviously, now you're in a 5-on-4 situation. You start aggressing here, which is like the generally right idea. Okay, great. You killed Brig. You go one-tap the Rhine, and then you chase down and you get these kills. Great. So we're good. Next fight is going to happen here, right? They're going to contest this spot. So I want to get ready to fight that. So you're going to throw a turret here, which I think is actually a great turret. I think this is a really, really good turret location. So I think this is good, right? It covers left window, it covers right window. The key to turrets is shooting them when they can't shoot it back, right? Putting a turret here, I'm sure you know this, right? Because you're GM Torb. But putting a turret here, they can shoot it and shoot back easily, and it dies. Putting it here, they have to turn the corner to shoot it, but then your team can shoot them while they're doing that. So that's great. That's like kind of the perfect case scenario. So this is fine. I would think, hey, where do I want to be when this fight is going to happen? And remember, if you didn't know this, on push mode, the robot does not go any faster if there are more people on it, unlike regular payload. Only one person gives the robot max speed, so you do not need to be on the robot here. Your supports, that's their job. Your job is to take space. Figure out, if we look here, what is the best spot for you to be as a Torb in the situation, right? What's a spot where you're like, I will do a good amount of damage and be fairly safe and discourage them from coming out? So, for example, would you be here? Obviously not. They'll just kill you right away. Would you be right here? Obviously not. Would you be right here? Again, obviously not. Okay? What's a good spot? Well, you could say, would I be over here? Well, this is certainly safe, but it's not that close, right? Which means that, like, I'm not going to die, but on the other hand, I'm not necessarily going to be able to hit a lot of shots from this far away. What about right here? Well, closer, so I'll do more damage, but the problem is I can only escape this way, which is dangerous, and might separate me from my supports. Well, for me, where would I pick? I would probably pick right here. I think this is a really good spot, right? You have bridge control, right? You can hide behind this. You can drop down if you need to. You can drop this way to get healing, okay? You could also put like another turret down in like a cheeky spot or whatever to be really annoying, like when the first turret dies. You can also contest windows from this side. I think this is probably one of the strongest spots for you to be in. You should already be here. You should not be hanging, like, you have plenty of time here, right? You see, you're just chilling. So, good news is, you rotate up here, right? Which is great. So you do finally get up here, sort of in time. But let's remember that spot, okay? So Ramacha's gonna get walled here, you walk forward to try to help him. He just dies. So, what's the correct call right now? Ramacha's dead, and you see your Moira fade out. So it's a 4-and-5 situation. What is the correct call? Is it to keep aggressing, right? Or is it to back up? Well, back up, right? Because you just lost your Ramatra. There's no reason to fight here unless you think you won't get out. But with Overload and only the Ramatra visible, I'm pretty sure you get out here. You pop Overload, right? You just go hop, 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 and you're out. You're gone, right? You have 2 supports here, or your Mercy can save you as well. And then you all fall back from this choke, or like you play maybe back here or something like that. Keep spamming the choke, and you rotate back over here, and you play here, and then your Ramatra rejoins you, and then you fight again. That's what should happen here. But let's look what actually happens. You pop Overload, and then you walk in here, and then you die. So just looking at this for a second, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 people here. And you decide to walk. The only reason that you go backwards here is because the Brig whip shot you back. You did not go back of your own accord. Like, if the Brig had out whip shot you, you would be right here in their face, instantly dead. Instead, you last like 2 seconds longer than you should have. So that's a big mistake, right? You die here, right? And now it's going to start a chain of staggers. Maybe, depends on whether or not people. Yep, chain of staggers, right? So now the Ashe dies here, right? And then your Mercy dies there. Again, your Mercy, one of the reasons she dies is because she G8 to you, right? She Guardian Angel to you to try to save you because your Mercy doesn't know what she's doing, right? Just like you didn't know what you're doing when you just ran in there and died. Like, everyone kind of, you know, caused this problem. The Ramattra was the first one who got walled up, but to be fair, I don't think they had a main initially, so Ramattra wasn't expecting it, though they could have been checking the scoreboard. But you exacerbated that problem, which started a chain of other mistakes. And if you want to climb, you need to be better than your teammates, right? Don't be making bad mistakes. In this situation, this is really important, because if you had never died, you would control this bridge right now and be spamming them on the way in while your Ramattra rejoins. Instead, you have to fight out of this choke, which is a nightmare. Like, there's almost no way that you can successfully push out of this. Almost no way. I think maybe you do manage to do it. So you pop Overload, but you're so far away, I don't know why you're popping Overload. Like, what value are you really getting here? Like, this is not likely to turn into a kill. Overload has a 10-second cooldown. See, like, you just wasted. This is a bad Overload. You should have waited until you could have gotten closer and popped Overload when you had a real opportunity to get a kill. Like, this is a great Overload opportunity. This will get kills. But your team manages to push in, mostly because the other team doesn't really know how to hold chokes, which is great. I mean, teams make mistakes. That's why we win. And then you're going to push forward here. All right, so nothing interesting of note happens here. You reposition your turret, which is great. So you're going to hear Dragon. So you see Hanzo on the right, so you know roughly where the Hanzo is already. So he's got to be somewhere, right? Somewhere in this vicinity. You hear the Dragon right now, and based on the sound, right? I really hope you're wearing a headset. I can already tell the Dragon's coming from right around here, like almost exactly. Which means the Dragon's going to be coming through the wall like this. Where do I want to go? Well, I don't want to go to the left because that's going to separate me from my team and my healers, right? Because my healers are always going to be playing to the back. Okay, I want to be going back to the right. Now, it's problematic here because you're kind of low, so I'm sure you're nervous about getting poked down, but I would rather take the chance the Mei's going to miss the icicle or whatever and get to the right than get split from my team because of the Dragon. What do you end up doing? Also, you're being killed by the Mercy right now anyway, so you're not going to get killed by the Mei. You end up going to the left, and you're slow about doing it, so that you take a ton of damage from this Dragon. And then you get killed. Granted, it's actually quite lucky that your supports end up being on this side, but I don't think this was the right play. I think the correct call would have been to just simply run back to the right and just chill, and then play from here and just spam people down, right? The turret's out. Like, imagine, like, you could be shooting the Brig right now. You could be shooting, you know, the Hanzo. You could be shooting the Mei, right? See, the Mei's low right now. Got a lot of options right here, but being dead means that you can't influence the fight at all. And again, this is not a hard... This is not like somebody beat you in like a critical 1v1, right? This is literally, like, you hear Dragon, you don't react correctly. You hear it, it's on your left. I can hear it very clearly in my left ear right now, right? So it's got to be on my left. It's not straight. It has to be left, which means it's coming from right here. I just walk away, you know? It's that easy. Just walk away from this and you're fine. Yeah, it's not like Hanzo hit some dream arrow or something. It's pretty straightforward to dodge that Dragon. You're going to come back again. Your team is pretty staggered right now. You have, I believe, no tank. Yeah, you have no tank who's rejoining, but you have 3 people who are still in. You're going to spam here. And you're going to hear and see 2 enemies coming up on your right. Right now, you can hear and see this on your right. Okay, right now, this Ramattra and this Brig are very audible. Even I have sound turned on to 8% right now. I can still hear this. You can tell that they are coming up right now. You decide to completely ignore them and run in a straight line away from them. So, this should not happen. I see the Torb right here. See how he's not tracking you? He's still not tracking you? He's still not tracking you? He misses 90% of his shots on you right now. You should be dead. If he was even slightly better at aiming, you are dead right now. Dead or nearly dead. Very, very lucky that this happens. Your correct move here should have been, oh shoot, they're pushing up the stairs to my right. I'm going to play back here. Wait for my Ramattra and just spam from here at someplace safe. right? Just play safe. Instead, you just walk past this Ramatra, who completely whiffs his shots on you, then doesn't chase you down with punches for some reason, even though you're one-tappable right now. Then, what's going to happen here is that you have 11 ammo with a Baptiste here who doesn't see you, and you're reloading right now when you're close enough to hammer him. Now it's suggesting that you do hammer him. Just clarify just how close you are. You are in 2 right-click territory to kill this Baptiste. And then you just walk away from this Baptiste, who can kill you in 1 burst. At 73 health, he does 75 damage, right? 25 per bullet per 3-round burst. You should be dead right now for like a million different reasons, which is why I'm telling you the climb from GM5 to like GM3 or GM1 even is going to be so easy for you if you just listen to like my advice, because it is it's not, we're not talking about people with bad aim. I mean, the Ramatra's like aim is like bad, but it's not like bad. It's not like, oh, it's hard to hit like a dodging target. Like you're running in a straight line. How hard is it to hit someone running in a straight line? So the Baptiste just doesn't shoot you until like it's too late. And then you just run through him. This reminds me, have you ever seen Band of Brothers? But it's what's like Lieutenant Spears or Colonel Spears, who just runs through the German lines, you know, at the Battle of Bastogne or whatever it was, and then just runs through the enemy lines and then runs back, and nobody shoots at him because they think that this is crazy that someone would be doing this. Like, you're that guy, right? Who's like run through the town in front of the Germans and had nobody shoot at him. This is clearly, like, truly mind-boggling that you could have gotten away with this at GM, but this is what oh yeah, and you run past this Hanzo, right? This point-blank Hanzo, right? You're gonna be right in front of him, and he doesn't shoot you. What? Like, are you 125? Yeah, you're 114. You're one tappable by this Hanzo. He can kill you in 0.6 seconds at point blank. There's almost no way he could miss this shot. But yet, this happens, and then you die. So many things have gone wrong here. It's hard for me even to describe what you could have done differently at this point. Besides, like, obviously, at this point, you should just kill the Baptiste. If he's not going to shoot you, fine, kill him. Right? Then you jump down here and decide to run away while Annihilation's popped, where that's clearly not going to work, and then you die. But it started with, hey, there are people on my right. Let me chill here, wait for my Ramatra. Because the Ramatra comes, he's like, what the heck am I supposed to do? You're all dead before I got here. Right? This is part of the overall staggering thing, like, problem that you're having. So Mayelt's popped. So you should back up until you realize where it is. So I can't even see it right now, but once you see the line, you're like, good. The key is walk up to the line right now. You're reloading, walking away. This is a mistake. Why? Because you should save your Ramatra. Like, he's clearly stuck in the Mei ulti. I want to walk up here and discourage the Mei from walking through the shield to kill my Ramatra. That's your job right now. You completely leave your Ramatra out to dry right now. And you see he dies. Like, this is really easy for you to stop. Like, even just throwing the turret down would probably have saved him. There's no reason for you to have just abandoned your Ramatra right now. So, Mei block is forced. You're down your tank right now. You're down a DPS. You could try to get a pick here. Yeah, it's possible. Good effort. 2 out of 3, 2 out of 4. I'd be careful not to get picked here, but otherwise it's fine. I think that recontesting bridge right now is a good call. Yep, I think I like this, right? I'm taking the off angle, putting the turret down, you shoot the Mei in the head. As soon as they start contesting, I immediately want to pop Overload, because I don't want to take health damage here when I don't have any supports. I want to Overload right away to make sure all the damage goes to health that is quote-unquote free. And you're a little too slow about this. Also, it helps him do more damage. You're too slow about this. Baptiste comes up on you. I would have taken this 1v1. So you do like 135 damage. I looked it up right before this. Like something like 135 damage per right click. This is 2 right clicks right now to kill this Baptiste and allows you to miss 30% of the shots. And that's assuming your turret doesn't shoot him. So I think right now, I would have taken this fight against your Baptiste, especially since he's not even looking at me. He's clearly shooting at the turret right now, not you. So I think you just double right click this Baptiste, even with 140 health, and this is totally worth the risk here. Even if it's a 50-50, I take this fight, for sure. 100% I take this fight. So Baptiste is chasing you. The problem is now you don't have overload health, and you don't have a turret to help you. You get super low, the correct call, right? I think either you re-peek again, right, if you have to. Yeah, I think you just re-peek left side or right side. I think you have to kill this Baptiste. I think doing this is crazy. This is not going to be anything productive, right? I'd rather just take the chance that I can maybe like one-tap him, because he's one-tappable with the left click. So I think a lot of mechanical issues there in terms of like how to take duels, how to fight a 1v2. that are popping up. That's like probably like the first time where I'm like, hey, like your aim, I guess, is an issue, but not really aim, but even not even aim, just like knowing to pop overload early right away, and then choosing to take that fight against the Baptiste would have been very important. I feel like my general read here is I feel like the game still goes too fast for you. Like you're having trouble like processing all the things going on. There are times where it feels like, oh, there's too much going on, and then you just pop overload and run away, right? Because you're like overwhelmed by the inputs that are coming in. And with time and experience that'll happen, but I think watching this in replay will help you understand how much time you have to make different, better decisions. So this is a problem in terms of aim. So you're right-clicking from super far away, so that's mistake number one. Then you left-click, okay, that's fine. That left-click clearly was never going to work. This should be an easy left-click now, but you missed this one. This should be another easy left-click. He's pretty close to you. Then you finally hit him when he's standing still. And obviously it doesn't matter for this fight, but like I'm just noting that your aim is an issue, right? Like those are relatively easy shots that I would consider like you should be hitting 80% plus of them. And like even if you say take like a console tax of like maybe like 20-30% less, you should be hitting 50% of them, not 0% of them. You can't go 0 for 4, 0 for 5 there. So interesting things are going to happen right here. Again, you should not be on the robot. It is not your job to push the bot. Unless there's literally nobody else to do it, you should not be your job to push the bot. I probably would have swung up here and started playing high ground. I mean, it's tough because my Ashe is also up there, but I think in general, I would have probably pushed and played high ground right now. Playing next to your Zen is actually quite dangerous. So you're going to pop overload here, and then you're also going to pop your ulti. So the shield's up. Why would you pop ulti right now? That's fine. Like, they're stuck low ground with your team controlling high ground. You don't need to rush anything. I don't pop ulti right now. There's no reason for me to pop ulti. Like, it's not synergizing or anything. There's a shield in the way, right? For some reason, they decide to run through your ulti. I really do not understand why. I mean, they pop rally, so maybe that's what you're reacting to, is you think they're gonna... But, like, this is suicide, you know? Like, she should have been like, okay, I pop rally. You pop ulti, and then I should just leave. I'd be okay, cool, fine. Like, we'll trade ultis here. That's fine. I'll trade a DPS ulti for my support ulti, and I'll just walk away. Instead, she walks through this puddle and gets completely melted by it. So, it's tough because it's like, is it the right call for you to Molten Core there? You killed her, but she shouldn't have done that. You know, she should have just walked away and it would have denied your Molten Core value. Like, yeah, she wouldn't have been able to, like, quote unquote, like, use rally, but, like, she would still give health and, like, kind of stabilize. They could have gone up top and challenged the bridge, for example. So, I'm of two minds here. I don't really know. I don't think you needed Molten Core here, but on the other hand, the other team doesn't know what they're doing, so it's okay. It's hard for me to predict. It truly is hard for me to tell whether or not that is the right call there. I think it worked out okay, and we'll leave it at that and not try to analyze it too much further. Okay, so I like what you're doing right here, which is, hey, look, we're capping. You're going to go up. You're going to take left side, which I think is great. I think it's really, really good to take this. What is this, a church? I think it's not technically a church, but we'll call it a church because it looks like it's supposed to be a church. Anyway, so you go up, you take up left side, you're controlling this. Your team is all over the place for some reason, which I think is crazy. I don't really know why this is happening at this level, because why are there people over here? Like, there's no reason for this fight to be happening, but it is. So now that... This is tough, because now I'm like watching like a quick play game. So what is the correct thing to do from here? If you feel like you're... So you hear the shot. When you hear the shot from the icicle, your correct move is to go and help the Zen right now. Yeah, this is the correct move. Of the options you got, yeah, I think overloading here is good to get over here. Yep, you get the Ramacha low. Okay, he shields. Once he shields, like, don't even bother shooting shield. Shield is 1,000 health and lasts only 4 seconds. It's almost impossible to destroy the shield. Yeah, this is the correct move. Just keep moving the cart. Great, Lucio's here. Great. Kill Lucio. This is some aim problems. So, just one right click here. Or the melee. Like, either one would have killed him in this situation. Like, at this point, you could just melee and then he would be dead. Alright, Lucio does die. Dragon gets popped. Alright, you go in. You're looking for the... So, you run away from the Ramatra here, which is not ideal, but also the dragon's pinning you. I think this is okay. I think this is kind of a lousy situation to be in, which is partially caused by your team being like in a bizarre position. Right now, you just want to die quickly. You don't want to try to stay alive. You're just staggering yourself. Yeah, it's tough for me to say what to do differently there because everything was so wonky. So Mei catches you out. Oh boy, this is bad. So she does a really good play here because you overload. But the thing is, you hear her. Right there. So I can hear the footstep right there. So you should have been like, wait, what? There's somebody here. And based on the heaviness of the footsteps, I think you can probably figure out that it's either Mei or the Baptiste. Either way, like, you need to chill right now versus letting her surprise you like this. Maybe like throw a turret first and use sound. So I think that's a big one, is that I don't think you're using sound very well. I hope that you have a headset on, but if you do have a headset, just make sure that you are in fact using those sound cues correctly. Because I think in my situation, like if I were playing as you, I would have heard right here and been like, huh? And then I would have played slow and like maybe jiggle peek the corner or thrown turret out first to see what happens. Because without overload, you're very vulnerable right now, as you can tell. And then once she shoots you, you're committed to this fight. Once this happens, I cannot escape because this path is too far for me to run and hide. Right? At this point, I'm looking to get a double headshot kill, or double right click kill, either way, right? Or headshot right click kill. You should have immediately been in like this is like stay in fight mode because you're not gonna be able to escape. I think also putting the turret in front of you, right here, like straight in front of you to block some of the shots / encourage her to shoot it, would have bought you another second of time. So she kills you out of forward spawn, which is a really good play on her, which is really good awareness. Also expecting where your overload would be. Another turret that's like just sitting in the middle lane, that's not going to do anything, right? This turret doesn't do anything. This is like a waste of a turret. You know, you could have put the turret over here, for example, or over here, or even like back here. Like there's so many other options you have that are better than sticking your turret where it dies instantly. So ball's in. I would not be going this far aggressively, right? Just because the ball's in over there doesn't mean you need to be in. The Ramatra's holding this corner. Ramatra can beat you up. Just focus right now on killing the Ramatra. Just poke out the Ramatra. Alright? He's dangerous, or rather, he's not dangerous when he doesn't have Nemesis form. He's only got 450 health. You can kill him in like 4 hits. So just shoot the Ramatra here. Don't go for the squishies right now. I would say just poke out the Ramatra. Also, I would take this opportunity to go high ground. Very, very important. Yeah, see? Like, you kill him so fast. Especially with Discord. Great, Hanzo's dead. So you're going to be coming out here. Obviously, you want to try to get the church if you can. You're looking to see everyone's coming on the backside. So you should kind of preemptively start thinking about the turret. Because if I hear them setting up in window, I assume they're going to come out through windows. So your perspective here should be, okay, I need to already have turret down. Not throw turret when they come out, but have turret down already. So for example, a turret like right here would be pretty valuable. Right? Blocking right side, blocking left side. If you're worried about getting killed, you can throw it here, understanding they're probably kind of like a walk over you type brush type comp, especially with the Lucio, and throw it here to be safer. Also thinking about what are their ultimates. I haven't seen in a while. I haven't seen Annihilation. Bob's come out relatively recently. I saw Window in the last fight, but I haven't seen Beat, and I haven't seen Blizzard. So with Blizzard, I don't want to clump with my teammates. Very, very important. I can save my teammates from Blizzard if I stay out of it and I kill the Mei while she's attacking my teammates. Right? Like that's something that you can conceivably do. So you should try to split up from your team earlier. Right? You do this, and note that you don't have turret out right now, which is really important. That was something that would help you a lot. And then you pop this, and you immediately just leave. But the thing is, if you leave, you're not going to win this fight anyway. Right? You're not going to win this fight anyway because your team is going to die or whatever it is without you. But you also hear Trance get popped here. So you could have looped back this way, and then your Zen would have seen you, and then your Zen would have come forward to go heal you, right? Because your Zen could have walked over to here, healed you and the Ashe at the same time, and you could have stayed alive fighting this Ramatra. You play too selfishly, too defensively, right? Or rather, too individualistically, as I should say, and you kind of like forget that your team is here. You hear Trance right now, go towards the Trance. Even if you get Blizzarded here, you can go towards the Trance and you'll survive. This is the worst possible option that you could have picked of the options that you had. Alright, so you're going to go down this way. You're playing close. This is dangerous for the record if your team is not set up because they can pick you off. I would think about throwing turret down first when you start engaging. I also don't know why you are right-clicking here. right clicking being the spread, right? I know you're playing console, but right clicking is the spread versus the single shot. I don't know why you're spreading. Why it's just single shot here. Single shot is way better at this range. So you have Molten Core right now. You pop Overload to fight the duel. I think it's fair to actually just ulti her right now. Right? Trading for the Mei here, or rather killing the Mei with ultimate, going up, grabbing the Mega, and coming back is a great trade. Like, when you force block right now, I think it's totally fine to then immediately pop ulti, right? Molten Core, and just run out, get this, come back, and even if it only kills the Mei, 100% worth it. 100% worth it here. You're slow on it. You're not getting the Mega! Please! You have 9 health! Get the Mega! What are you doing? See? Like, the whole fight would be different if you just pop Molten Core right there. So if you pop Molten Core while she's in ice, she literally cannot escape, right? I think we can agree this is impossible that she could have escaped when she's in ice block. Right here, you pop Molten Core, you kill her, you go get the Mega, right? At this point, the Mei would be dead by now, right? Because there's no way she could have gotten out. You could have come back, you could have thrown down a new turret, and then you'd be coming in on the side flank. The Mei would not be here, which means your Mercy would not die to the Mei. You could then kill the Lucio, right? And then you and the Ball and the Mercy and the Zen could kill the Anna, right? And kill the Ramatra, and then you win. And that's the game. So, again, I want to take high ground. Don't go this way. Go this way. Take high ground. Very, very important. Take high ground. Yeah, don't even bother shooting the shield. The shield's not going to do anything. I assure you the shield's not going to break. I play Ramatra as my main tank. I've put up hundreds of shields, and I'm telling you it breaks less than 1% of the time. It's not worth it to shoot it. Alright, so now you're in OT. This is 1.5/2 team fights territory. You probably don't need to be on the robot here, and you really need to split angles. So retreating here is a mistake. So first of all, Annihilation only does 30 damage a second, which is not a lot. That's someone just meleeing you nonstop. So your whole team is currently fighting a 4-on-2, 5-on-2 basically, right? Plus the turret, so 5.5-on-2. Why would you retreat right now? I want to kill the Ramatra right away before his team can react and save him. 5-on-3. Like, I just want to be blowing up this Ramatra. Got closer, yeah. Just keep right clicking him. You see, you're not losing any health right now. Look, right? 218. Like Lucio's healing you right now. You're at 249. You're at 250. Why are you backing away? Kill the Ramatra. If you stay here, he'd already be dead by now. Right click, he's dead. Like, why are you running away? Just kill him. And this is the problem, right? It's like you play too selfishly, like too individualistically. You don't think about your teammate. He's like punching your Lucio here. Just stay here, fight him, right? Get on this on side so you can't double hit people. Kill the Ramatra. Fight's over, right? But from there, right? You're Ashe on high ground, Mercy on high ground, right? Kill the Lucio. Then the Mercy comes down, res. You walk forward. Game's over. I don't think you can get another contest. You cannot. Okay, so summary for tips. Number 1 is just honestly just playing safer. Like, you do some like crazy things sometimes where you just like run into the opposing team and just die, or nearly die, or like etc. Right? Like when you ran into, as examples, right at the very beginning where you run over here and then you die there, and then your next step after that where you somehow run over here, ignore these two, and you go over here and you run over here and you run down here and then you die. Like, this stuff is crazy. just play Torb as a pokey DPS, and when you see an opportunity, go in for kills. Don't try to like run through the enemy team. Don't try to run into the enemy team when they're looking at you. That stuff is bad. Like, don't frontline like that. Just honestly just surviving more, and you're not getting out-dueled. It's not like, oh, like, I'm fighting their Ashe and she's like shooting me and I'm dying at long range. That's not happening at all. Like, all of your deaths are like basically self-inflicted. So number 1, just staying alive. Number 2, this is a big one, audio cues. You're missing a lot of audio cues, like the Hanzo Dragon and the Mei sneaking up on you, right? Those are situations where you should have heard that and reacted accordingly. Number 3 is generally panicking during fights happens a lot. Like this situation in the 2-on-1, or 1-on-2 rather, where you're shooting and the Baptiste just came up here and you could have just killed the Baptiste. Like, that's very important. Like, you panic a lot in those fights instead of just being like, what kills can I get? How do I secure it? And you could try deathmatching a lot more to just practice that instinct of like fighting one-on-one, fighting one-on-two, whatever it ends up being, and learning how to convert those into kills is critical. There's like minor stuff here, like turrets. No, I say four is high ground for sure. Like controlling high ground a lot more, both controlling it yourself and denying it to the enemy. Thankfully, the enemy team didn't use it that much. But controlling high ground, denying high ground, very, very, very important, especially as Torb. Again, lesser things now are things like, you know, your ults or the exact like positioning or like tracking enemy ultimates. Like honestly, that's like, at least in this game, it's not that big a deal. It's mostly the execution of like, hey, like every fight's a puzzle. You know, every fight is a puzzle. I want the May Baptiste 1v2. Right. Every fight is a puzzle. So the second this comes up, the puzzle has begun. Right? This is now a committed, hey, what do I do? Turret's building, so they're worried about the turret. I have full health. I have all my cooldowns except for turret. I pop Molten Core right now. Like, to me, it's so obvious to me. I don't really know how to explain this other than having you practice a lot. Pop Molten Core right now. I know I do 135 damage per shot if I'm right-clicking, right? I do 70% damage per shot if I left-click. But this close range, I'm going to right-click because I'm probably going to land 50 to 75% of that shot. So I'm going to be doing something like 60 to 100 damage per right-click. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be right-clicking. Cool. Okay, Baptiste comes up. Great. I break the LOS of the May, which is the correct call. I see that the Baptiste is not looking at me and shooting at the turret. I still have 142 health, which means he needs to hit 6 bullets, 2 full bursts to kill me, and he's not even looking at me right now. I only need to right-click him twice. Worst case scenario, 3 times. There's no way I'm missing 3 bursts, 3 right-clicks on the Baptiste this close. So I can kill the Baptiste so fast here, but then you panic. Again, he still like wasn't looking at you on his screen. Like look at it from the Baptiste perspective. Right? He comes up, he's not looking at you at all. He's just focusing on killing the turret. He's so easy to kill right now. One right click and a melee would kill him right now. And only now does he start looking for you at this point in time. So this type of stuff is like, you got to figure out like, how do I solve these little combat puzzles? Because this will happen all the time. Right? This is really, really important for you to kind of like work through, especially as a DPS where so much of your value is going to come from converting kills, securing kills, winning duels. You have to learn how to do this. Very, very, very important. Okay, cool. I'm going to stop there. Hopefully this is helpful.